Greetings. Even now we are still continuing. We are looking at public speaking. And in this series of videos, we've been focusing on that skill. So even in this video, we're going to look at what can you do, having looked at how to overcome the fear of public speaking and so on and so forth. Then what can you do to transform the fear of public speaking into enthusiasm and positive energy? So actually, we know that public speaking anxiety isn't the same for everyone. But if, let's say, you had to paint a picture of your fear of public speaking, what would it look like? Would it look like a troll, an airy shadow, a dark cloud hovering over you standing in a sunny location? Like, how would it look like? You can try to imagine how yours would look like. Excuse me. So your fear of public speaking may be as common as its symptoms, that is rapid heartbeat, sweat palms, among others, but it is very much your own. So no one can exactly know how you feel or what you're thinking when you're forced to confront your public speaking anxiety. But as Eleanor Roosevelt said, you gain strength, courage, and confidence by every experience in which you really stop to look fear in the face. So you are able to say to yourself, I've lived through this horror. I can take the next thing that comes along. So that is the statement that you made. So we really hope you don't see public speaking as a horror exactly. There are far worse things in life, but we can tell you the best thing you can do to overcome your fear of public speaking is learn how to transform that fear into energy. And it's a lot easier to do than you may think. It is easier to do than you may think. So we are going to consider a number of things in order to help us know what we are supposed to do. So first we're going to look at fear of public speaking is learned. That is the first thing I want to look at. The fear of public speaking is learned. So humans are born with just two fears. Normally when kids are born, they only have two fears. That is the fear of falling and the fear of loud sounds. So we are also born with the ability to fear. The ability to fear is just within us, which means your fear of death, fear of public speaking, or fear of spiders is learned. So just born with two fears, like we said. So the rest of the fears, you just learn them as you grow. So they are natural fears that people develop, usually in their youth, in response to their environment or culture. So you think about this. Children love audiences. They dance and sing and talk all the time, and they don't care who's watching them. So in fact, they want to be watched. I think you've ever seen this in children. They always do stuff, funny stuff. They don't mind. They dance. They don't feel shy, and they want you to watch them. So it's not until they are told people are watching and judging them that they stop. So these kids will continue being like that until when they are told by their fellows. In the community consists a number of people. There are those people who don't want to, they don't do certain stuff. They don't want to be in lights. So it is those kind of people, or even other people, and these other people that tell these children as they grow, as they relate with them, that no, don't do that. People are watching you and they're judging you. So until when they are told such things, that's when they stop. So they don't suddenly develop a fear of performing. They are conditioned to fear being judged by others. So the fear is not they don't just develop the fear of performing. No, the fear is conditioned to fear to the like it is conditioned to fear being judged by others. So what do we fear? Is being judged. You know that in most times people don't do certain things just because they fear being judged. You may ask someone, why don't you do this? How, what will people say? How will they see me? So people have that attitude. But me, the first thing I've dealt with in my life or done away with is that how will people see me? I do things as I wish, as long as it is right. I don't mind about other people, because at the end of it all, they will not like they want to do anything to change your life. Like they want you get, they will just remain there. If you've done something good, or if even if it is but like if you go by what people will say, then you won't achieve anything in this life. Because let it be negative, let it be positive, let it be good or bad, people will always have something to say about something. People will always have comments. So if you're that kind of person who's like, what will people say, and you don't do what you have to do, then just know you're done. You just have to dwell with that mindset and do what you have to do or what you wish to do, as long as it is okay with you and it is right, and move on with your life. So that is what brings the fear in us, the fear of being judged. So would you say the same is true of your public speaking anxiety? Like talking to other people probably isn't a big deal to you. Like you talk to people every day. It's like it's having all eyes on you, being the center of attention, wide open to judgment. So that is what you fear. Like you don't fear talking to people, because normally you talk with people on the roadside, as you move in your society, you talk to people. So your fear is not talking to people, but it is having all eyes being attentive or being centered on you, wide open to judgment. So that's what you fear. So uh, fear is a chemical response in the brain, that when your brain perceives something to be a threat, the adrenal glands on your kidney flood your body with adrenaline. Your pupil dilates, like will dilate, and your blood flows to the large muscles in your extremities. So this is natural way of preparing you to take action to survive. That is when you're faced with anything that seems to be a threat. So unfortunately, this chemical response can be so strong that it can override your ability to rationalize the reaction. Rather than look objectively at what's scaring you, you're overcome by your need to survive. So if you're in a situation that genuinely requires you to fight for survival, this is the beneficial. But in the case of public speaking, however, this fear is unnecessary. Like the people in your audience, the ones listening to you, they pose no physical threat. They are not wild animals, they are not going to beat you. So there is no need for you to fear them. You just need to know what we learn from this is that these fears are just learned from our environments. So you just need to 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 deal with it and to get to know that these fears are learned, but there is nothing big to fear about the people. The judgment is, yeah, people will judge, but that does not stop you from doing what you have to do. So the other thing we are looking at, the first one was the other one, that fear is learned. So the second one is, did you learn to be afraid? Did you learn to be afraid? So knowing that your fear of public speaking is a natural fear, like one you've developed or learned, it is an important piece of information. Like for someone, being able to identify how their fear of public speaking came to be can hold important clues on how to overcome it. Also, if you break down what especially frightens you about public speaking, you may find the fear was self-created for a specific purpose. like to get out of doing a presentation you weren't prepared for example, or for no reason at all. So something like that. So whatever reason, or whatever the reason for your public speaking anxiety, it's keeping you in a state of negativity. So you can only see the bad that will come from public speaking. Like that fear is just keeping you in the negativity, whereby one, you can only see the bad that will come from public speaking. Two, you reject public speaking invitations without thinking how they could benefit you. Thirdly, you stay quiet rather than speak up about a situation, even if it's awful. Fourth, you avoid making new connections in case it's awkward. Fifth and finally, you let your fear override your instincts instead of the other way round, instead of letting your instincts ride your fears. So the bottom line is, when you allow fear to control your actions, you lose out at work and at home. So something you need to consider is, everyone in the world, without exception, has fears, anxieties, worries. Some people are afraid of flying, some people are afraid of water. So you're afraid of public speaking. So you don't overcome those fears by simply pushing them out. That is I think that is a cowardly way of doing things. Normally, like solving things by running away from them. Winners are not those kind of people. There is this thing that says winners are losers who never quit, and losers are winners who quit. So, meaning, as a winner, a person with a winner attitude, a person with you're not like, you can't overcome something by pushing it off. You get, or by avoiding it. For example, as students in schools, if you want to pass, you can't pass. Like, you can't be promoted from one class to another by just pushing it away. You have to face it. Like, you take life like that. When you're in school, you have no option apart from reading and passing to be promoted. There is no way you can push it off. So take it life like that. That even in real life, there is no way you can, like, everything that comes your way, take it that you have to face it. What come may, you have to face it. Don't just push up things, otherwise you even miss out on your opportunities. Try to hustle it out, work it out, fight with it, and at the end you overcome it, and you will be grateful for what you've done. You will congratulate yourself. You get? So that thing of pushing away things as a way of overcoming them does not work, and it never works. Instead, acknowledge the fear, examine it when it happens, and deal with it. Like, because quite often you'll find the things, or the thing you fear isn't real a problem, or it's a problem that can be easily overcome. So that is one way of turning your fear into positive enthusiasm. Deal with it, don't run away from it. Stop that habit of running away from challenges. Always face the challenges of life, because if you run away from challenges, then you won't succeed, because without challenges there is no success. Without a battle there is no victory. So if you run away from battles, then you're running away from victory. If you run away from challenges, then you're running away from success. So if you want success, then face the battles. Thirdly, fear is not an enemy. So that's the other thing you're looking at. Fear is not an enemy. So it sounds inconceivable, but fear can be a pretty great ally. The adrenaline coursing through your veins can make you more energetic in your presentations, like we've been discovering as in the previous videos. Like, think of it this way: both anxiety and excitement are considered aroused emotions, and therefore have the same effects on your body. Whether you feel excited or you feel nervous, your heart rate increases, your adrenal glands kick into higher gear, and you're ready to take action. So why then would you try to bring yourself down from that before a presentation? Deep breathing exercises may slow your heart rate a bit, but it's smarter to move to a state of excitement from a state of fear than to try to force yourself from a state of fear into a state of calm. Like this like I told you, some people have a myth. Like we're looking at the myths. Like some people think that nervousness and the the that reaction that comes up before presentation is a sign of inadequacy and lack of public speaking skills, or skills at whatever thing that has made you put into that situation. But it's not the case. It is not only negative. That happens, like I told you, even as a worship team member who has been doing that for good years. Even when I'm going to present or to the ministry, I don't want to call it presentation. It's not presentation, it is ministry. We are doing the worship. So as we're going to do the worship, I feel nervous. So you, meaning that nervousness is there to give you more energy. So you don't need to calm yourself down. No, maybe you can do it just a bit, not to be too much, just to maintain it, because too much of it is bad. So you just maintain it because it is good to help you be sensitive, like we seen, to sharpen your concentration, like to help you have a good presentation. So like this is like a professor at Harvard Business School did a study that reached the same conclusion. Her study showed that reframing your fear or something negative as excitement or as something positive can improve your performance, because you're taking yourself from a threat mindset to an opportunity mindset. So no one in the study said they were less anxious or anxious. They simply performed better because they changed how they viewed the activity, but they remained anxious. So meaning the anxiety may not be in position to drive it away, but you just change your mindset and instead use the anxiety or the fear to your advantage. Like I said in the previous video, like this fear, you work, like you make sure that it does not work against you, but it works to your advantage, something like that. So let's look at what you can do to transform your fear into positive energy. So one, talk talk yourself up, or talk to yourself. So you can, like, you talk to yourself, I can do this, I am to do great. Like you, okay, let me put it in your case. Like you talk to yourself, you can do this, you're going to do great. So this is going to be a great presentation, you're telling yourself. So if someone were to say those things to you, you would probably feel pretty good about walking into a presentation. Who says you can't pump yourself up with the same phrases? If someone can tell them to, and you feel good, ready to do the presentation, if then you can also do it yourself. You can pump yourself, you can drive yourself, self-motivated, self-driven. Yeah, you can do it. So something like that. Then secondly, find your incentive. Find your incentive. So too often people think of the bad things that will come of facing their fears, and most of the time those outcomes aren't very likely. Instead, think of all the great things that will result from facing your fear of public speaking. Just the rush you will get from knowing you did it will be amazing. Okay. So don't only look at the negative outcomes, you also look at the positive outcomes that can come out of it. If remember, actually, doing presentations is one way of how should I put it? It's one way of like putting yourself in lights. Like when you stand up, people see you, and when people see you, they see the good things. Like they see your good abilities, your potential, and when people see your potential, it opens up doors for you. So meaning when you stand out in let's say in term, like if you take presentations as a chance to stand out, then it is an advantage, because through that you can get social connections that are helpful to you, you get, and many other benefits, just like we looked at the importances of public speaking. Then the other thing, keep doing it. That is the third, I guess. Keep doing it. So the more you do it, the easier public speaking will be in theory. So you may become more articulate and better skilled at speaking techniques. But the rush of adrenaline will probably always be there. Like I told you, it is always there, no matter how many times you did it. So you will grow more comfortable with it over time as long as you keep doing it. Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. No, go out and get busy. Go out and fight it. You get. You don't win something by sitting down and thinking about it, unless if you're thinking of the strategies of how you will deal with it. You get. So fear of public speaking is not the problem. No. The fear of public speaking is not the problem. The problem is, or the problem with fear is not the fear itself. It's how you react to it. So when you give in to your fear and run away from situations that trigger it, like situations like public speaking, the true result is always lost opportunities. Every time you run away from your fears, then you're losing opportunities. So that's what personally pushes me to face my fears, however big they are. I don't want to miss out opportunities. I don't want to miss out on success. No, not at a single time. So public speaking is one of the most beneficial soft skills you can possess in any job, in any industry. So reframe your way of thinking to see public speaking as an opportunity rather than a fearful and unpleasant experience. You may never love public speaking. We hope you do though. But you can at least make it something that is positive. You may never love it. Maybe we hope you may do so, but make it something that is positive. You get. And if you look at its benefits, you will actually love it. If you look at it from the positive point of view, focusing at what you can gain with those skills. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Like if it has been helpful, subscribe for more content. We are bringing you content, you shall never get tired. And subscribe to support us as well. It is the best thing you can do for us. Yeah. Otherwise, thank you. God bless you.